Hello, a warm welcome to Conny Decorates today, and of course with heart involved.
With heart involved, who is the cameraman?
Exactly. And today here with us in a shady, semi-shady corner. And we've made it a bit colorful today so you can feel a little comfortable here again, dear ones. And if you want to know how this truly natural decor corner works, stay tuned because we're going to show you now. And finally, we're back in the garden. We can start planting, replanting and redecorating the garden again. And we've actually done quite well. There's space here. And of course, we're excited to decorate outside with and for you again. And that always brings immense joy, of course.
Yes, it might just be a bit windy again today.
Exactly. There's always a bit of wind here because we're up high, relatively high. And where we are, we're really out in the fields. And because of that, even though we have a lot of trees here, there might be some wind noise, so I hope it doesn't bother you. And what we also have is a glider airfield just around the corner. And of course, they love to go up in this weather. It can also happen that there are some background noises. But I wanted to show you this area. We redesigned it last year, because Sophie and the neighbor's dog occasionally make contact. This wall was a bit damaged. So we put a large pallet here and planted it. Unfortunately, it got damaged over the winter and I removed the ivy as a precaution. And that will also be redesigned, of course. Then next to it we had here under what do we have here anyway? A tree of life and a fir tree. And here we have these apple crate seeds here in the old land. Apple crates are fruit crates. And we had made a great corner here. And here too I removed the planting again. And we just want to replant and decorate with these things that we have now removed from old plantings. And today I was really thrilled. The elf mirror. I have never seen this color in purple like this before. Then I have a small petunia and phlox. Of course, it will later go to our left garden because we need ground cover there. But for now, they will be planted here in this corner. And we planted that last year. And it has already come along really nicely. We would, of course, add a bit more to it now. I also have a lot of ivy vines. And from the entrance at the front, for those who remember or know our videos, that was the planter we had turned upside down and planted. And it was really by our stairs now. And it looked really wonderful and was very, very decorative, but always new. And I would say, let's get started. In this corner, it's relatively shady. Last year, we removed a lot from the shrubs. We also have sumac trees or shrubs here. It was really up to here. We had a lot of shade here. Now, since we've removed a lot, there's more sun here. So we have, let's say, a kind of partial shade. Here in the corner where all the animals really feel comfortable, we have the ivy. As you can see, as ground cover, we leave it as is, and behind it is practically our terrace. You know it from the other film. And what's already coming up there? On one side, of course, there are the lily of the valley, and here the hedgehog house, exactly. But I would say, let's get started by first sweeping away some leaves here. So what the purpose actually is also, just to show, or the idea behind it, that you can always change old plantings. That means what we had planted before, I just want to show that you can always replant it in new decorative plantings or also plant it in the garden. So plants are really super variable and always very interchangeable and can be combined differently again. And I would like to up here, because last year I placed the two boxes on top of each other. It's relatively stable and I would like to keep it that way. And I have our wood practically here at the bottom and put one on top to weigh it down. And that is, of course, a very good base. As I said, I would like to use the base for this large pot. And now I'm going to first take out all the bulbs, which will, of course, go straight into the garden. And We will be very happy in the coming years when they all come here in the spring, and these are the decorations like the ones we also had in the online shop, which are also super usable. Yes, I have now completely taken that out, and I would place this pot just like at the entrance, turned upside down again. I have just placed it here for now. So tilted, and I think it's still a bit too high for me, and I believe I'll use the block now. I just need to check that it's really stable and stands the way I want it to. I have the block, Micha, maybe we can show that once. I turned it upside down. I have now practically laid it horizontally forward. And this way, the plant pot is exactly optimal. You can now look in from the front, and the ivy can beautifully drape down the sides. I find them so beautiful. So this phlox is also called carpet flame flower. But look at what beautiful small flowers it has. It is also very, very delicate. I like it a lot. But for now, we want to plant it here temporarily. Before, as mentioned, it goes into the garden. And I will now make a hole here so that it sits really well inside. And what I'm doing, I have my moss here, which I have included again. I will now use it from below. First, I'll put it back into the pot because it really provides great stability for the plant. So we have the moss at the bottom, and from above we'll add more nice fresh soil on top, and it will be nicely filled in here again. What I have here is a bit of fresher moss again. It naturally looks a bit nicer and more lush. And I would simply lay it in here completely again. I like it. Do you like it too, Micha? The beginning is already made. We already have something fresh here again. We just said we have some great LED light chains. We will decorate a bit with them here because that's always quite nice. Then in the summer, it's always, in the evening, it's really nice, cozy, and those are always really beautiful highlights. And this corner, especially dark corners, are always particularly nice when they are highlighted like this. So now I have this other container which we had already decorated here before. And I'll take another one now. I think maybe a nice purple or perhaps even white. I find that quite nice too. Yes, I think the contrast is pretty cool, and it will go into the pot here again. And what I have are several ivy strands. And I'll add another one now. The vine is also in there. And here too, I'll just fill the gaps a bit with moss. A little dab just in between. Here we also have the nice foliage in there. That's already a very good protection. It occurs to me we have these great wooden houses, and I need to check if we still have them in the online shop because I always find them super decorative. I had them here at the back with us. We have a small window at the back of our house, and I had them standing outside. But I also find it super, super nice if you just place them again in the planting, especially with the crates. I think it fits quite well. And this planting also comes next to it here. Maybe turn it around a little bit. You can practically also later a bit sideways already, maybe into the palette. You can use it a bit as a climbing aid. And here I would also like to place a little house. Here we still have a small gap, and that's where the other wooden house goes. I also found the older sphagnum moss here, but it's always wonderful as a filler or later also as decoration. I would now like to fill this bowl with the phlox and with the beautiful elf mirror. I really find it fantastic, and I would like to add it there as well. Then a little bit of ivy again. Really nice. I really like it, and I find the transition to the palette wall quite cool. That will of course also be made fantastic. And the ladder that we integrated up here will also get new batteries, so the light will turn on and off again. Really, yes, I like it very much. A bit of color comes back into play, and our little birdhouse, which we always use a bit as a decorative element. Sorry, I put it back into my box down here. And the last two, beautiful, the petunia to the phlox. Full. You already have a fresh new planting. There, the last little bit of ivy goes in again, and a bit of soil on top. Soil is in. Awesome. Looks so beautiful. It's so fresh, and that's always the nicest thing, really, when you can make everything really nice and cozy again and replant. But I know you love it too, and that's really fantastic. What I still have, I had back there in the box. These soda bottles, you can see it too, rainwater inside, super decorative. I also believe they were in the online shop. I can check again and include them if necessary. I really think they're quite cool. They also fit well here with the wood and the zinc. Stories, because I don't necessarily want to include rust items here. This is again a really cool combination. And this birch twig wreath with the shells from last year or the year before. We are here on the coast, so it naturally has to be maritime. And I would already hang it up here in the corner. What else do we have? A wooden house? I still have one. I'll take a look. We'll find a place for it. And I would say Sophie is also involved. Also here again included in the planting. And to make it really cozy, I'll get 2 more cushions, because this is going to be a seating area, a comfort spot. The jute cushions, the good jute cushions, they are of course wonderful, especially for here. They are super robust, and you can easily forget about them. Really great. And what I had back there by the garden pond, probably always seen. When we filmed, I have now emptied them again. I took out the felt materials. I would now like to place them here on the side. And I also have a few stones. And you can now place them everywhere as well. Especially stones are always a great decorative element. And back here in the gap, I'll just put an empty zinc pot in. A few more stones. Very practical. It adds weight to the whole setup. And what I also found, the little dove, I would also like to place it here. And I would say, with this, our cozy corner is finished for today. And we are done. In no time, we have created a really nice cozy corner here where you can just sit down if you want to see the garden from a different perspective. And Sophie and the other furry friends always feel really comfortable here too. And dear ones, we really hope that we could inspire you as well. Maybe give you a little idea. If we could, then we would be delighted. We would appreciate a thumbs up, and we always enjoy reading your comments. And we just want to say, stay very healthy, feel hugged, you're Conny, and exactly take care until then.